This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvietto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orviettosawards.com. Orvietto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slowman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slowman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slowman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slowman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 Integra, $339 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume can help.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, baby. Yes, sir. Ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. Good thing is, I adjust to it all. He knows it. He's seen it. Anyway, if you only knew behind the scenes.
That was my fault. I jumped on the intro a little early.
No,
I apologize.
I don't go with any of that. You know that, dude. You know me, bro. We're good. Always good. Always good. Always blessed. Blessed to be here with you all every single day. Blessed to be here at beautiful Toyota of Hollywood, where pretty much every Toyota is made here in the USA. So, you know, avoid them 55% tariffs. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. That's what they call a cheap trick on us. And, we good? We're good? Okay. All right. All right. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's complaining. All right. So anyway, good afternoon, y'all. Hope you're doing well. I see Bitcoin, what is it, hanging around 109, 110 right now. Life is good. Ethereum is pumping, dude. Now trying to make it to 2,900. That is nice. Bitcoin at 109,724. Sell it all. That's it. It's done. It's over. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of truth to talk about on the show today. You know,
you never do that on this show, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna start talking the truth now.
Wait, I'm sorry. I got to rephrase that. I'm here to confirm the truth that we've been talking about. That's what I'm here to do. Oh, Lordy. It's just so funny, dude. It really is how It just like I look, I'll start off already. Yesterday we were talking with Furones, right? And remember how he didn't pick up on the conversation from Drew Rosenhaus, the discussions, not negotiations. And I told him, bro, the agent says discussions and fluid because it's all about trade. If you're actually working on a contract, he wants to stroke his ego and say, we're negotiating a new deal because I negotiated a shitty one. I need to negotiate a new one because Drew Rosenhaus failed Jonnu Smith. That's also burning the Dolphins, by the way. Drew Rosenhaus's incompetence burns the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins cut a great deal. Is that Chris Greer's fault that he was a swindler?
Low hanging.
That's right. Low hanging fruit. Oh, I wonder where that truth has been talked about. Anyway, so it's just interesting how, and I was telling young Furones, my brother, he said discussions. He didn't say negotiations. If there's somebody that wants to stroke his freaking ego about negotiations, it's Drew Rosenhaus. Okay. And he's not talking about that. And so now Schefter comes out today and says, well, no, let me read exactly. Let me read the tooth, the tooth. Adam Schefter characterized tight end Jonnu Smith's absence differently on NFL Live on Tuesday, asserting that his absence is also excused as the team seeks a trade. The Dolphins, according to Schefter, has given him permission and excused him from attending so he can go ahead and look for a trade partner. Smith wants a new contract to replace the one that will expire after the season and pay him $4.8 this season. McDaniel and Schefter have portrayed Smith's situation somewhat differently over the past 2 weeks. McDaniel said the team wants to keep Smith, and the sides have been in conversations, not negotiations. It's funny how people don't pick up on language. There's a conversation being had. They're talking to you. They're telling you what's going on. But yet you don't see through the trees. We do. We see through all the bullshit. In fact, we tell you ahead of time most of the time about all this bullshit. We told you he was gone. The second somebody says, I want a new deal, oh, okay, wait, let me call Pittsburgh. Bro, it's over.
Doesn't sound like they want to negotiate.
Yeah. So your wife or husband comes to you, I want a divorce. Hold on, let me call a lawyer. No, wait, let's go to counseling. No, it's a little too late now. You pulled the trigger, you want a divorce. You know what I'm saying? So made him make it that hard left there. Anyway, again, an inside thing that you just had to be a part of. Just craziness, dude. And it's staring you in the face, and they don't talk about it. And most of the media doesn't figure it out. Oh, now Schefter is phrasing it differently. What, you didn't pick up on it, dude? I'm sorry if you guys didn't pick up on it, but we picked up on it. Jonnu was done. In the interview with Furones, he go. I mean,
and what do you want McDaniel to say? Like, come on the press conference and be like, yes, we're talking to Pittsburgh and we're trying to move him.
Right. We don't want him anymore on the team, and that's it. And
he wants more money. We're not going to give it to him. So,
right. By the way, will anybody tell you that defections are going on off season? Have they talked about that, like in the media thoroughly? No, they don't. They don't. But here we do. We've been telling you for a while.
And that's the other thing McDaniel don't want to bring up.
Right.
Right. Because that opens up other questions that start coming in now.
Right. Have we not told you here that it's obvious they stopped investing in Mike McDaniel? Did you not see that? They went and they gave everything Weaver they could possibly get for him. Okay. They went and protected their quarterback. They bought a guard and they drafted a guard. But that's it. They didn't really do much else. And then you have everything else falling apart and people not wanting to be a part of this. And that's what's going on. They are done with him. I think I'm the only person in the entire country telling you this is a what year? A transition year. What's going on? They're done investing in McDaniel. They realize they screwed up giving him that contract. And they're like, yeah, we're not going down this rabbit hole. You're sink or swim and you're on your own this year. If you can make it happen, then you can stay on board. But if not, this will give us the justification to fire you at some point during the season. They haven't told him that. But if he's got half a brain, he sees the writing on the wall by all the actions. I don't know how the media hasn't picked up on it. I don't know how most of the fans that don't listen to this show have not picked up on it. I don't know how the national media has not picked up on it. But then again, we say a ton of things that you guys end up finding out. They end up happening, and it just kind of goes under the radar here. So it's a beautiful thing. You guys end up being the smart guys at the water cooler and the smart women at the water cooler by telling everybody, no, this is what's going to happen, and it ends up happening. Am I perfect? No, but dude, bro, I bat a really high. There isn't a Hall of Famer in the world that in baseball that bats at a higher percentage than I do. Let's put it that way. When it comes to Dolphins, it's crazy. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, and also it's what you always say too. If there is anybody in the media that knows about it, they're not going to tell you, because then you take away from clicks.
Right. Oh yeah. Right.
If there's anybody out there.
Yeah, you can't write that this season's done. I can only say that, and I'm not afraid of turning people off. Oh, like that idiot. Oh, I heard you say the season was over. What a disservice to us fans. Yeah, I'm sorry. What a disservice it is that using the truth, isn't it? What is the disservice? I never knew that we've become the world that you need to step into whatever echo chamber to make you feel happy, and you don't want to hear the truth about anything. It's a weird dynamic, dude. I never grew up with that. I grew up with the brutal honesty, and then you lived with it and you adjusted to it. It's how it was. That's how it's always been for me. I don't get it, ladies and gentlemen.
Your team sucked. Your team sucked.
Right.
You knew it. You still cheered for them, but they sucked, and you knew it.
Right.
And you weren't afraid to say, "Oh man."
And it goes the other way.
Slump. This guy's missing passes. This guy, you weren't afraid to criticize and critique the team for their performance. And now you have to hold everything back because everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, you said something bad. You must not like the Dolphins anymore."
Right.
Damn you, Big O.
And
it turned on us.
And it goes the other way. I have Hateful Steve. Dude, the second anything goes wrong with the Panthers, it's over. Life is done. They suck.
It's Dolphinitis.
Exactly. And I got to then walk off Hateful Steve. Hateful Steve will admit I've had to walk him off the Panthers ledge like 80 times. I'm like, yo, dude, this is not the Panthers. This is not the new Heat now. This weak-ass, soft-ass Heat that Pat Riley puts out on the court nowadays. That's not who the Panthers are. I go the other way. With you get what you deserve on this show. Period. And they're not trying to help McDaniel. They're just not. And there's lots of people that aren't buying into McDaniel, and they know it, dude. They just can't tell you this, but I'm telling you. Okay? That's one. Now let's go with truth number 2 today on the show. The Miami Heat. because, of course, the writers got to write the hopium. And they got to tell you, oh, my God, no, I want him to do this. And when I corner our good friend Ira Winderman about what would you do, he still says, I would still try to bring in Kevin Durant. Right? You didn't know, huh? Well, former NBA MVP Durant prefers a trade to the San Antonio Spurs. Ashish Mathur of Hoops Wire reported on Tuesday. Mathur further adds that Durant and the Spurs had mutual interest at the trade deadline last February and notes that Durant played his college ball at the University of Texas. The information aligns with other recent reporting linking Durant to the Spurs. For one, Bill Simmons of The Ringer suggested on his latest episode of the podcast that San Antonio trade for Durant and the deal may be already done. Durant, now 36, is entering the final year of his contract next season at $54 million. He's widely expected to be traded away in the coming weeks by the Phoenix Suns. The Spurs obviously have plenty of intrigue with all-world 7-footer Victor Wembanyama and former NBA point guard De'Aaron Fox to build around. San Antonio also holds a superb trade assets to offer Phoenix, including reigning Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle and the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft. I'm sorry, do the Heat have anything like that? Okay, and by the way, does he want to come to the Heat?
Doesn't sound like he wants to play with Hero and Adebayo.
Yes, exactly. Who the hell wants to play with Hero and Adebayo? The only people that are that drunk are the people that cover the Heat, that run the Heat, and most of you fans out there that maybe that don't watch this show, because on this show we give you like logic. Why would you want a 36-year-old when you're not going to be even a contender with him? Now, with De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama, that might be something a little bit more intriguing. Okay? So, okay, but come on. And the truth is, and you Heat fans out there, you don't want to face it. Bro, nobody gives a shit about the Miami Heat anymore. No free agent is dying to play here or any of that crap, dude.
But, we got state taxes. No state taxes. I'm sorry, no state taxes.
Exactly. And you got no picks and you got nothing to trade, dude. And I keep saying it over and over and over again, but they'll keep writing and telling you on Heat podcasts or on Heat writers that they'll keep telling you that there's some hopium out there. And, bro, there is no hopium. Nothing is saving the Miami Heat. And they don't get it. Like I said yesterday, it's the perfect analogy. They're the lost child in the shopping mall, and they're looking for their parent. And they just don't know where to go and how to find their way. And that's what's been happening with the Miami Heat. They lost their way several years ago when basketball and the rules changed, and they have refused to change. And because they have refused to change, the NBA is running right over the Miami Heat. And Pat Riley doesn't see it. That's the truth, bro. I know some of you, or a lot of you, you don't want to hear it. You want to hear that you have a chance at every star every offseason, and then every offseason you fail. And they only got Jimmy Butler because really not a lot of people are going to give Jimmy Butler the money or give him all that stuff. And it was Dwayne Wade. It wasn't anything else. And you got Bosch and you got LeBron because of Dwayne Wade. You didn't get it because of anything else. So let's stop with the fake legends that we create, the fake myths that we create. It's not true. It's not real. Hasn't been real forever. Okay? And that buzz is gone, bro. It's gone. Absolutely gone. And they need to find a way to completely restart the organization. They don't know what they're doing anymore. That's the truth. That's the truth. The truth is the Miami Heat doesn't know what they're doing anymore. The truth is the Miami Heat makes all the wrong moves nowadays. The truth is they're ruining the window for the best coach in the NBA. That's the truth. And they're lucky they have the best coach in the NBA to make them look way better than what they really are. And that's the truth. That's truth number 2. By the way, we are here at Toyota of Hollywood. There is a red Prius. It's just, it is beautiful, bro. I am amazed at the new Priuses. They are just awesome. The Tundras. Oh my God. Those things are sharp. Camrys, the hybrids. Are you kidding me? I mean, the vehicles are out here. My daughter drives a beautiful Corolla every single day. You can get the Camry LE sedan right now for $299 a month, 0 down, 2025 model. By the way, most Toyotas are born and bred here in the United States. They're made here. Just to give you a little, China, that the Toyota the Toyota company is usually playing chess, right? Well, last time they knew, Trump had tariffs. So they knew that if it would happen again, they would need factories here. So a lot of them are here. So they won't be affected by the tariffs. So come on down to the number 1 volume Toyota dealership right here in the Southeast United States. You're not going to drive around anywhere else. That's using a lot of gas. All right, so come on out. We got no payments for 90 days. We got 2.75% financing for 4 full years, 0 down. We're at 1841 North State Road 7, right between Hollywood and Sheridan. Come on out on 441. You are going to love it. 2,000 vehicles, 1,200 new ones. You're seeing here a little bit of the shots in the showroom, men. So come on out here, man. Toyota of Hollywood, tell them that Big O sent you, and they'll take care of you, man. Herbie Lopez, all the great people out here, they make it happen. It's a beautiful thing. Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Good day, everyone. Lots of stupid crap going on today in the world. What's new? Yeah. Jay Gelfin, thinking about what's going on, going to see Fort Lauderdale United play for the championship. I know, right? That might be a fun trip to go up to Tampa to see that champ. Did you see, Jay? I don't know if it's too late, but Fort Lauderdale United is offering the first 200 people a free trip and everything. You should go onto the website and check it out. Maybe you might make it. I don't know. They're offering 200 people to go with them. So call, Jay. Go check it out. Go to the website. Hurry up. I know you're a real fan. Okay, there's not a lot of us yet, so that's why I mention it, because I give them love. And hey, man, Tyrone Mears cracks our top four head coaches in South Florida. NorCal's locked in with both accounts. Brian Radke's a freaking stud. Dolphin Dave is in the house. He's going to watch the Dolphins this year for the best nothing that we can do anyway. Great show, Big O. Thank you. Yeah, you can't do anything about what's going on, dude. We're here. We're fans. We're not going to give up on the team or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, dude. We got to live with it. I told you guys from the get-go, this is a transition year. I've been telling you guys. So it's going to end up happening. Okay? It's crazy. Truth number 3 today on the show. I'm going to go off a little bit on the beaten path. I'm going to go on the Bitcoin path. Okay? Bitcoin today is at 109,575 right now. It's found a home at 109,000. It's freaking awesome, dude. It's so amazing. Anyway, they have come to an agreement with China. 55% tariff on China. So we're going to be paying a lot more for things that come from China. Okay? So there was a 25% existing, and then they added another 30%. So whatever, inflation rose a little bit. Okay? A little less than expected, but a little bit. The core CPI rose a little bit too, to 2.8. And remember, I've been telling you, this is only the truth right here. I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't care about Republicans, and I don't care about Democrats, and I can't tell you enough. But as Rand Paul, the Republican senator, said, they've already approved, because they control the House and the Senate. They approved in March $2.2 trillion to print, and now this new bill that they have at the moment, it will print 2.5 trillion more. Okay, so now I want you to see this senator on today on CNBC. I want you to see what he's saying. Okay, I recorded the video just to put it out there. It's Senator Roger Marshall. He's a Republican. So they ask him about this bill. This is why I tell you Bitcoin, okay? All right, they have printed, we're at 37 trillion. They're going to print 2.5 trillion more in this new bill, maybe 3, who knows? And this will add more and more to the deficit as years go on, this bill. But for now, it'll be a quick, so they're going to get to close to 5 trillion already. Listen to what he says of what's going to go on with this bill and down the line, and listen to how he phrases it. It is hilarious. Go ahead.
A lot was riding on this week. The most important parts of this bill, the Medicaid parts, the tax parts. We had Senator Johnson on, and I got to tell you, if it wasn't for the constraints of who's in the Senate and who wants certain things, I can see how we'd want to get back to pre-pandemic spending levels. I understand that rationale, but it's not going to be possible with this bill, is it?
Not yet. I think that's a great goal. Senator Johnson certainly recognizes, like I do, the greatest challenge that America faces is our national debt. But the purpose of this bill is to, number one, is to prevent the largest tax increase in American history. We think that by stopping that tax increase and other provisions, that the average American family is going to get to keep $1,000 a month more of their hard-earned money. It's obviously going to secure the border. It's going to cut $1.7 trillion in spending. So this is a step in the right direction. Rome wasn't built in a day either. So the first thing we have to do is grow the economy. We need to flatten spending, and over the next 4 years, get to those pre-pandemic spending levels. I think it's very feasible. We'll take a bite of the apple now. We're going to have to take a couple more bites as these next 3 years go along, though.
They'll be taking a couple of more bites of the apple. And of course, they'll stop their spending in 4 years. After they've added 10 more trillion to our debt. There's no way out of it. That's why. There's no way out of it. They just bullshit you. They have to do, the tax cut thing is right. They do have to do that, of course. But then they tell you, no, we're saving 1.7 trillion. No, they're not. They're printing more. It's hilarious, dude. It's hilarious. And if you don't see a devaluing of our money, I can't help you. You know what I mean? Not a financial advisor, but dude, it's a layup. And this only goes up. Like some idiot goes, oh, Bitcoin's a scam. Usually stupid people, they just say Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, it's a scam. They have no explanation. They can never defend their point because they're not educated enough. They know nothing. They just repeat something else that's stupid. And I told them exactly that. I said, dude, you're just uneducated and ignorant. You don't know anything. You can just say, okay, so why is it a scam? He's got nothing to say. And why? Because most of you that say, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a scam, you're stupid. You don't even know anything that goes on with our money, or you don't even understand this. So instead, get educated before you even open your damn mouth. That's maybe what you should do. You know what I mean? So I told them I've been hearing it since it was at 16,000 and we're about to hit 116,000. You go ahead and continue to be ignorant. So it doesn't matter what side they come from, red or blue, they're all going to print. Trump printed 8 trillion the first go around, Biden printed 8 trillion, and I told you whoever won was going to get to 10 this time. And they're well on their way. Okay? Well on their way to printing it. So that's the truth. That's the truth. Okay? Nothing else. Just saying, once you learn about this, you won't care about those silly sides. Okay? You'll notice what they're doing every 4 years as they trade off. Anyway, those are the three toofs. It's the toof. It's the toof. By the way, you can make a donation to the show. Help us survive and grow and thrive and cover things and keep giving you the real, actual, truth. You can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And on Venmo, you can make Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana. Nobody's made a Solana donation yet. I've gotten Chainlink, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Nobody's made a Solana donation yet. But anyway, thank you all out there as always. And remember, we are trying to go to Madrid. I've told you this is a transition year. I think personally this is the game to look forward to because it's going to go against the Washington Commanders. And that's going to be a fun game. And we just got to hope that we play a really good game, national television. And, we got to hope for a couple of good performances this year. And, and hopefully that's one of them. So help us. We want to broadcast all week out there at a Dolphins bar in España and do our pre and post game show out there con los gallegos. So there we go. Yes, gold bullions. We will definitely accept. We'll convert it right away. But yeah. Corso, thank you, sir. Can I have an apple, please? Howdy-o, classic Cheap Trick shirt. Live at Budokan is one of my favorite live albums. It's one of the greatest live albums of all time. Yes. Yeah. That one's right up there with Kiss Alive, with UFO, Strangers in the Night. Great live albums. Genesis, Three Doors Live, Three Sides Live. Great live albums. Peter Frampton Comes Alive. Trying to think of off the top of my head, great live albums. There's got to be another one or two that I can think of that are phenomenally recorded and they sound good. Let me see if somebody came up with one on the list. Pompeii, yes, that's pretty good. I like that. Wings Over America, that's also a very good one. Live After Death, that's an exceptional one there. Super Boom Shack, I like that. Live at the Fillmore, you know what? I can't say I've heard that one, but anything Allman Brothers is just phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that. Who Live at Leeds, that is very good. I like that one. That's a very good. The Who, I don't think the Who they don't get put there enough with Led Zeppelin, you know what I'm saying, and the Beatles and all that, when they deserve to be right there with the Stones, everybody. They don't get that love enough. It's weird. And they're so freaking awesome, dude. God, the Who is awesome. They are fan-freaking-tastic. Brian Rodkay, thank you, sir. You're an absolute stud on Cash App. He says, thank you for the content. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very kind and very appreciative. Let's see what else I was going to talk about. Okay. I mentioned this a little bit with David Furones yesterday in his interview. Besides the whole discussions, negotiations, semantics that he, most people probably didn't pick up on, but I did because, I've been lied to so much in this business for 35 years and misled that I just, the bullshit meter for me is always on high. Okay. Because I went looking for it today. All right. Okay. And this is, again, you know me, I'm just a straight shooter. I call it like I see it, good or bad for me, for myself, for anybody else, whatever. Okay. And I mentioned it to Furones, and he was a little caught back by it, right? Because this is the truth. Okay. I tried to look for it. Where is the proof? Where did Zach Sealer say I want a new contract? Where did Zach Sealer say I'm going to hold out? Where did Zach Sealer say I'm unhappy? Where did Drew Rosenhaus say he's unhappy? I tried to look for it. Is it somewhere? Because I could not find it, Sean. And it's what I told Furones yesterday, right? I said it was all media driven because you assume that John outplayed his contract and he's represented by Drew Rosenhaus. And then Jalen Ramsey doesn't want to be here. Neither does John, by the way. Obviously, he's like, bro, if I'm going to be here with this shitty team and that coach, you need to pay me. You need to pay me. And he's going to ask for a lot of money from the Dolphins to stay here. Maybe he'll take a little less if he goes to a really good team that has a chance to win. I'm just saying. You guys think all the stuff about Miami Heat and Pat Riley. I'm sorry, what went on with Chris Bosh and the Houston Rockets? I'm sorry, what was Chris Bosh after winning 2 titles with the Miami Heat? What did he tell Pat Riley? Oh, yeah, no, I'm here in Houston. I'm going to sign for less money. Oh, wait, Pat, you want me to go back? Oh, yeah, no, you're going to have to give me the max and give me more money. Because you guys think Pat Riley's got all the juice there, And when he traded for LeBron and Bosh, he didn't have to. They could have just come on over. But both of them wanted their bird rights. And so they forced the Heat to give up first-round picks to Toronto and to Cleveland when that hurts your own team. That's like counterproductive by Bosh and by LeBron. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go play with them and go try to win a championship, but I'm also going to weaken the team I'm going to by forcing them to give up picks when I could just go over, take a little less, but no, I want my bird rights and I want more money. And, it's not because I'm playing for Pat Riley and the Miami Heat. I'm going to take less. No, F you. The problem with Heat Nation is that some of you are so freaking ignorant and you don't see the writing. It's like staring you in the face. It's been happening for years, and none of you avoid it all. You avoid it all, and you still think you're the shit. And you actually are, literally. Anyway, let's get back to this. Anywhere can you find Zach Sealer saying no, right? It's all media driven. And I'm not the media guy. I am in media, but I don't do that bullshit. I don't need to do that. Why are we creating a rift between the Dolphins and Zach Sealer? Oh, because it's clicks. Assumptions. You're not writing any concrete anything. Zach Sealer's there. He's not complaining. He's playing. That's it. Yeah.
The only thing was, I guess, that he was not doing the on-the-field work, but he was there He wasn't doing on the field work, but then McDaniel, I didn't know about tomorrow.
But that's veteran shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying, I mean, if you want to try to, again, create something,
right,
that would be the only thing. But again, that's not concrete.
Does he need those reps? No.
Especially when you just brought in a whole bunch of new defensive linemen that are all.
And you're not playing with contact or anything where you're really going to try to test the other kid where you're going to free him up and see what he does or anything like that. That'll happen in scrimmages. It doesn't happen in June mini camps. But no, hey, let's write sensationalistic bullshit. No, let's talk about sensationalistic bullshit. We don't do that here, bro. I don't do this shit for clicks. I do this because I love it. I do this because I love you guys. I do it because I love my teams. But I also am not going to bullshit you about our teams or our situations, or I'm going to try to get more clicks because I want to try to create a fantasy trade for Durant or any other fool, because it's never going to happen. But hey, let's play hypotheticals. Dude, there are radio shows and podcasts and all that. That's all they do. They want to play hypotheticals because they need to fill time. I fill time with substance. I actually tell you what's going on. I tell you what's the real deal. What's the truth. Sometimes it's brutal, but it's the truth. And I hope you appreciate it. I know the real fans, the people that, we're not going anywhere, dude. But we need to know what's really going on. And that's what I'm all about. I'd rather tell you what's really going on instead of farting around with a bunch of crap. BS makes the world go round, Brett. Yes, sir. Don't forget, Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. You can get Panthers gear. Got that beautiful hat I got recently, Time to Hunt. Love it. It's a beautiful thing. So go out there, see Brett and Jeff and all the great people out there, man. They do some great work, and they're fantastic. Tell them that I sent you. BIG010. You will get 10% off online or in person. It doesn't matter. Caneswear.com, bigcheese.com. Fridays, of course, Manny Navarro joins us for our Big Cheese, Miami.com, NIL, and recruiting reports. And, of course, treat yourself to some amazing pasta. By the way, shipped from Italy and cooked fresh daily. And then garlic roast to die for. Ooh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Okay? Love it. You'll love it at Levitt's. That's old. That's old. True FinFan says, my anger level listening to this right now is through the roof. Man, I don't know, like, I didn't, what is it? IDE means what? Oh.
I think it autocorrects. I'd like to see.
Oh, I'd like to see these clickbaiters face to face and tell them how I really feel. It's all right, dude. I mean, everybody's got to survive. Everybody's got to make a living, dude. Or maybe they don't, or they're just doing it for a hobby or something. But it's never been my style, bro. I'm just not the bullshit artist and all that stuff. And I'm not going to just go along with it like that and string people along only to be let down. That's not fair, dude. That's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Big O, your mix of truth, logic, and common sense is crazy talk, okay? Let's see. There you go. Oscar Rojas is smashing it, and the like button too. I like it. The beauty about going to Spain is that Spanish is the primary language, so you can communicate with the people out there. That is, if you speak Spanish, of course. It's going to be great for you, Big O. Yeah, I would imagine. No va a tener problema. Let's see. Let's go. Checking in from LA, smoking some of that sweet island skunk. OG and smashing the like. Thank you. Think Blue Dodgers. I appreciate you smashing it and smoking it. Given how bad the Dolphins have been, I take it as a blessing that the Heat and the Marlins won when they could. Exactly. Yes, sir. That's exactly it. Ocala Joe is at the beach with the beer and the sun. He can't ask for more. There you go. That is life right there. Pablo says Durant is a mercenary and he is nowhere near the player he used to be. How did the Heat go from being the best team in South Florida to being a mediocre organization? I think the fix will take some time. Yeah, it will. But the worst part about it for the Heat is they have already set back their rebuild several years, and they're only making it worse. And what I mean by that is, and a lot of you also failed on this because you went after me. Once you made the NBA Finals that year, the second time, you had to trade Jimmy Butler. You had to realize that was your peak, and you were never going to do this again. You were never going to have the lucky breaks or any of that shit because that's what it was. And at that moment, you could get the world for Jimmy Butler. The shit had to hit the fan and all that stuff. You could have gotten 4 or 5 first-rounders at that moment. That's when you start the rebuild. Instead, you got drunk on what wasn't reality, as I've been telling you for years. That at that time, I told you it wasn't reality. The truth, right? It was the truth, right? That offseason, after the NBA Finals trip, and you got your ass kicked by Denver, and the reality was you overachieved. That's all it was. You weren't really that good. Was I not right? That's the truth that people don't want to hear. Even Pat Riley didn't want to hear it. I can't help you, dude. So you set back your first rebuild with the opportunity of picking up 4 or 5 first-rounders for Jimmy Butler at that moment in the ultimate peak. Somebody would have traded for him at that moment because at that moment he was the ideal citizen, player, everything. He got a bunch of nobodies to the finals twice. Dude, you would have gotten the world for him. And instead, you hung on. He got old, got bitter, got lazy, ruined the value, and you got very little in return. And then you've also given away another first-round pick for Rozier. And now you hung on to Hero when you should have traded him at the trading deadline, like I said. And now I've got even my friend Ira Winderman hanging on to Hero. By the way, are you sure he's going to stay healthy just because he stayed healthy for 1 year? How'd the Tua thing work out? We get drunk and we enter in this echo chamber that is just very disastrous. So we had another opportunity with Hero hot in there. And then what happened the second half of the season? He stayed healthy, but he got exposed. And even opponents were saying, oh, yeah, no, it's so easy. Just attack Hero. He can't play defense. Boom! More value dropping. That's like, nobody says that about any player. That's how disrespectful that is. So now you hurt your value of that, but you still have a little bit of hope. All you got to do is now trade what you have left. Bam and Tyler, and get whatever first-round picks you can, and you're going to refuse to do it. And so you're going to also kill the value of whatever you can get for Bam or Tyler. And then you're just going to be waddling around. That's the truth. That's what Tim Reynolds and Anthony Chang and Ira Winderman and everybody that covers the Heat should be talking about, that this is the timeline of screw-ups for an organization that had zero foresight. Zero foresight. And this big mouth has better foresight than the Miami Heat by miles. And not one thing I said was hindsight. You know, talk radio is made of hindsight. Writers, columnists, they live off of hindsight. Brother, I live off reality. I live off the tooth. I told yous the tooth. I told you the tooth. Like the Jordan meme from the security guard. Yes, sir.
What's funny is if you could just handle the truth, you'd probably be a much more happy Dolphin
or Heat
fan anywhere if you could handle the truth. You could see it for what it is, and you could understand it.
It's like the Dolphins now, the ones that get pissed at me that I said,
we got to fight it.
This has nothing. This season is a nothing.
Dare you?
I know, but the problem is, I just said that about the Heat past season. I said, bro, they're not going anywhere. They're not getting anybody or anything like that. They didn't get anybody last offseason. They're not getting anybody this season, this offseason. Come on, bro, enough already. And it's like you don't want to hear the truth. Don't get it. I don't get it. But you know what, man? I'll stay doing it my way. It's not popular at all. It is not, dude. It is very unpopular. Very unpopular. But that's fine. I'm good with that, dude. The people that get it, they truly appreciate it, and God bless you because you all really support us. You know? And that was cool. Last week, we had a listener that came actually here and bought a car and mentioned my name, and they just told me about it. You know what I mean? That means the world. That's awesome. That's what helps us. That's the kind of stuff that helps us, you know, and I appreciate that. I tell you guys all the time, it doesn't matter where you go, dude. You call Cutter's Edge Pro and you call William Quigley. I know that man knows landscaping. I don't know about it if he knows anything else, but I know he knows landscaping. He dominates. You call him, your home, your business, whatever, is going to look beautiful. He's going to make it happen. That man knows landscaping. But mention us, please. You know what I mean? When you call Cutter's Edge Pro, you know, you call Moody Dental and you go do your teeth or whatever it is that you do, cosmetic surgery, whatever, mention us, please. Yeah, before they hit you with the Novocaine, right? Exactly. Hey, you're out there. You're loopy. Actually, they don't even do that anymore. Now it's just numbness.
Yeah, it's the numbness.
It's just numbness now.
And then
Jeff, then you walk, and then you're going home. You're like, yeah, I can't eat for a while. I'm gonna bite my tongue off if I eat. You know.
Jeff from Long Island. Ferona's video was posted last night. It is up.
Oh yeah.
He was asking when. He's like, I didn't see it on the show yesterday.
Yeah, no,
it was recorded after.
Yeah, because the show, Jeff, camp was going on at that moment, and they were talking to McDaniel and the players and all that. So why get him before all that? There's no news. So I said, no, let's record it after. And then Thursday, he's going to join us tomorrow afternoon after the 3 days of camp are over. So we'll get a wrap up of that. That will be live on the show. But that one was like this week. I didn't do the show Monday morning. So I recorded Ira in the afternoon because I was sleeping in the morning. I think I woke up like around noon or 11 or something like that, dude. I got in bed at 4:15, bro. There was no way I was going to rest. And I got to take care of the voice, man. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, dude. I'm an old man. And so, it is what it is, as they say. So please mention us if you go to Moody Dental or any of our fine sponsors. Acura Pembroke Pines, you name it, man. Okay? Subaru Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park, Slowman's, 1-800-ALARM-ME. You can get a free doorbell camera when you mention us. So call Slowman's Home Shield. We're like in 14 different states. Could be in your state. His house, my house, all protected by Slowman's, baby. Let's see. What else do we have? Dan the Film Giant says, just Jack Nicholson said in A Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. A lot of fans can't handle the truth. True Fin Fan says, at least those of us who found you, who have learned so much from you, know what to look for. What about those who haven't found you? What do they have? What source of honesty? Sad, but it's the truth. Yeah, they rarely get any honesty, to be quite honest. The Heat front office is stubborn as concrete. They refuse to change with the times. This is not the super team era anymore. They need to stop being so emotionally invested on high-end role players. Well said, Lenny. Well said. Let's see. We're going Fiji, Anthony. We're going Fiji. Fiji all the way. I got some Blue Springs cookies. First, Frost, and Hippie Crasher. I've never even heard of that. What the hell is that? Is that like some craze now or something? Yeah, I've never heard of that. Or is he just joking around with something? Or, you know. He might have the munchies. He might be hanging out with Think Blue Dodgers. That could be it. That could be it. But it is funky, right? How, just to go back on the Sealer thing, how it's just really all media created. It's media created. It's none of it has ever, none of it, there's anything come from Sealer at all. Or his agent. When it does, okay, then we can talk about it. But nobody's talked about it. And I think that's the kind of player. Okay, I think we talked about this. Draft guys that can transition into any offense or whatever, right? They went and got themselves a guard. They went and got defensive tackle. They got guys that you're going to need on defense, period. And it'll transition. So you do that, you're in a much better position and you're much more flexible instead of specializing to fit each coach. You know what I'm saying? Because then you get into that rut and they're trying to get out of that rut. But when it comes to Sealer, I don't think that would be a contractual issue. They would probably gladly pay him next year more money or during the season extended or, you know, whatever. Because that's the kind of player that transitions to the next head coach or the next defensive coordinator or whatever. You're going to want Zach Sealer on your team. But Jonnu Smith may not be that guy. So it is what it is. But I just love how the whole Zach Sealer thing is completely fabricated. There is not 1 ounce of truth to it. It's all for clicks. It's low-hanging fruit for the media is what it is. It's them creating controversy where there is none. And then you are talking to your friend, hey, bro, what about Sealer? What about Sealer? Well, no, bro, talk about maybe contract or money. Well, no, he hasn't. But that's not going to be the conversation between you and your buddy. Oh, really, dude? Oh, wow. Oh, man, we got problems with Sealer too, and there's no problem. But all of a sudden, the media has created a problem that doesn't exist. Isn't that fun for you guys? Yes.
No, because they're just building it off the Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith situations. Let's see who else we can grab.
Right.
Oh, Zach Sealer. There we go. That guy's
obvious.
He's outplaying his contract, so he must want a new one. So he's got to be. And he's sitting out. Oh my goodness! Here we go. Actually, sitting in, I guess.
Jonah Gadovich is my spirit animal. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yesterday for the Pat Riley archives during the early 90s, 2000s sound bites. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got tons of those, bro. I mean, tons. Big O, what a choke job with Colombia versus Argentina. Colombia with 11 guys and 10 guys for Argentina last 10 minutes of the match. Brother, you know, it's just one of those things. If they can bring back Escobar to really pump up the soccer nation, you know, I think Colombia lost the right mix. You know, Escobar had the right idea. I'm just saying. CIL was back in the days. Cocaine image likeness. Colombia. They started it. Before college football had the NIL, Colombia, when they were really hot in soccer, they had the CIL. Cocaine image likeness. And it powered the hell out of that soccer nation. So I'm just saying, Willie, sometimes you got to go back to the well or the coca leaf or whatever you want to call it. You know? Call Eric Clapton so you can have a new theme song. Just saying. Okay? And by the way, I hear that AC vent crawling is going to be a new sport in the Olympics. I got my money on Colombia. I've got my money on Colombia. Colombians are the best when it comes to getting through an entire AC vent in a stadium. So I think they hold the world record, if I'm correct. Yeah. So I'm just saying, Willie, that's the key. Got to go back to the cocaina. Pat of Nashville, the Laughlins, to the person who loves them, baby, I know I'm going to lose my BMW and Lexus, but my Honda Fit and Nissan Cube can still get us there, baby. Willie says, I wonder what the locker room intention is going to be with the Bozo Tyrico coming to training camp and environment. I think they just look at him like, you know, what an idiot, you know, and we got to deal with him, and that's it. Or some of them are saying, I don't want to deal with him and this other guy, and I'm out of here. Anthony, thank you for the love in the super chat. Anyone experience Regal RPX? I never have. Thoughts? I haven't. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. By the way, right now, the one by Kendall Drive and 120th, they're completely under construction. Some of the theaters there. We went yesterday, and yeah, I wanted to go see the ballerina, but the theater was too screwed up. So watch out. Go to another one. Frankie says Colombia did not choke. The fact is we suck. Hey, but it could be worse. 4-0 USA lost to Switzerland. Yeah, but they're a joke. Yeah, no, don't even insult Colombia by mentioning USA. Colombia at least can play soccer.
I said they're worse.
Yeah, we're a joke, bro. I mean, who gives a shit? USA soccer has been a joke for years, dude. Years. Decades. We stopped growing in the 90s with the Balboa and the Kobe Jones and the Brian McBrides and the Winaldas, and those were our best teams, dude. Those were our best and most complete teams, toughest teams, character teams, and that's saying not much, but that was the best. That was our peak, and we never got better. Claudio Reyna, all of that, we never got better than that group. Never. That was the best soccer team toughness, everything that came with it. The best combination we've ever had. And still a joke on the international level, as you know, Frankie. So, USA losing to Switzerland or Panama or the Bahamas is not anything surprising to me, bro. USA's crap. They don't know how to run a soccer program. Let's see what else. The truth is played here, Frankie. I don't screw around, dude. So, yeah, I'm not. I don't get hurt by the reality when I already know what the reality is. Riles is still the best psychological coach of all time. Still remember sound bites when he was asked about the Heat's chances to clinch the championship against the Mavs, and he said 1 suit and 1 tie. Yes, I know. And stick the head underwater and all that good stuff and all that, but that stuff is done. It's over. Speaking of the CIL, remember back in the 94 World Cup when the Colombian soccer player mistakenly scored the goal on the other team. The guy ended up getting killed, by the way. Yeah, his name, I believe, was also Escobar. I believe the name of the soccer player that they killed on the own goal, his name was Escobar. Something, yeah. Andres Escobar, a defender. Anyway, so there's a lot of crap in here, bro. A lot of crap. Yeah, and by the way, Frankie, you got to go back to killing your players. That's another thing you got to do, unfortunately. I mean, lives are on the line. It's not a good thing. But when soccer was king in Colombia, it was about cocaine and killing your players. I mean, that's how you do it right. Maybe we should start doing cocaine and killing players. I think you're onto something. We got a better chance. I mean, if Colombia's not going to do it, don't we buy it from them?
They'll tariff it.
We tariff it, yeah. Yeah. Are there tariffs now on the coke when it comes over? Comes out of the sub into the swamp, and
we'll have to look through the fine print. I'm sure it's there somewhere.
But it didn't go through customs. But yet there's a tariff now. Well, what are you talking about? We're drug dealing. It's illegal. Oh, had to go through imaginary customs. Let's see. What else do we have? Wrong, because we still did not win the World Cup, but you got close. You got close. You were a sniff away. Now, all your hopes are just gone to dust. You know what I'm saying? At least you were a sniff away. Now, forget about it. Better to be a sniff away than no way. I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay. Let's see what else. He says, no, we did not. We did not even make it out of the group, but I see what you're trying to say. I'm just, you guys had some success in those days. Now you have none. Just saying. Oh, Lord. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Yes, sir. The amazing Alan Blanco. Custom printing and embroidery. Dolphins in the middle of minicamp. So far, no injuries, right? That's all you need to know from minicamp. The good thing that we're hearing is camps going on for the Dolphins and no injuries. Wednesday, which is tonight, we have game tree of the NBA Finals, and it's in Indiana. Thunder is favored by 5. Over and under is 228. Thunder is minus 218 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 180. Which Tyrese Halliburton will show up? You'll find out. Tomorrow night, your Florida Panthers look to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the biggest game of the year as they host the Oilers for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. 8 o'clock, Panthers are minus 155 on the money line. Oilers are plus 130, and it's an over and under of 6.5 goals. Saturday, your Fort Lauderdale United, they are going for the championship. It's pretty badass, bro. The USL Super League Championship for the ladies happens Saturday night in Tampa. The Tampa Bay Sun FC are hosting Fort Lauderdale United, and the game time is 7:30. You can watch it on Peacock. Go United. And then Saturday at 8 p.m., FIFA World Cup. You can catch it on DAZN. Al Ahly, I think it's pronounced, taking on Inter Miami. And Al Ahly is plus 220 on the money line. Inter Miami is minus 190. We'll see what happens there. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you're a company, corporation, school, entity, you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, please call my friends at 3A Graphics. Alan Blanco, here's his number, man, the owner, 786-618-1443. Some of our listeners and customers have done it anywhere across the country, and they've done it all by Zoom and all that. And nobody really goes in there because you just send your logo and all. I didn't realize it until I got to know Alan. He explains that, like, nobody really comes anymore. It's all done by Zoom and stuff like that. And so then we ship it out to people and things like that. So it's really cool. But anyway, reach out to Alan and he can take care of you. 786-618-1443. All right. Cuba has appeared in the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. Yeah, that was like when the ball was made out of paper mache and tape. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did it when it didn't matter. When nobody gave a crap. Like, really? They play something called soccer? That's what's going on. And at that time, that's what's going. What? Huh? I'm in the middle of the Great Depression. Get the hell out of here, bro. I can't get soup or bread. Now, I think the Great Depression was over by 38. If I know my history, I think it was over in the very early 30s. But I got to have fun. Anyway, I mean, seriously, who gave a shit about soccer those days? Like, they found out about it like 8 days later that it something happened. Like, yeah, some event where they kicked some stupid ball around and some people, some idiots won. Who cares? 1939 was the Great Depression. Oh, it ended. So it was. Oh, so wow, I'm a little off. So 38. Oh yeah, so they were still worrying about getting soup and stuff. Yeah, it's even less about soccer. Seriously. Like to brag about that is like talking about the Dolphins and the undefeated season half a century ago already. Like, let it go already, dude. Yeah, we know. What's that? About. They don't even have the date. Yeah, yes. It happens sometime, somewhere, we think. Yeah, it's like a tree falling in the forest and nobody sees it. Did it really happen? Yeah. Yeah, they made it back in the Great Depression. They were malnutrition and all that, and they barely could run half a mile. The key was the ball was made of sugar cane. Cubans really knew how to kick that. Oh, man. All right, let me do a little music. Let me lighten up. Let me lighten it up a little bit here. Nobody's free from shots here on this show, just so you'll know. Okay. I don't give a crap. I'm ruthless. Let's go with musicians. I don't know if you can call him a musician. You can definitely call him an absolute complete idiot. Kodak Black was born on this date in 97. The moron known as Bill Kahan Capri. Kodak Black, moron. Happy birthday. Who else do we have celebrating birthdays today? Stephen Droz from the Flaming Lips, multi-instrumentalist, born in 69. Penny Ford, singer-songwriter from the Euro dance group Snap. They sold 7 million copies. Damn, that's crazy. They've got the power. That's what's going on. Robert Birch from the Stereo MCs. I love the Stereo MCs, man. Yeah, born in 1961. Nick Hallam, DJ producer, co-founder of G Street Records, and a member also of the Stereo MCs. 2 people from the Stereo MCs celebrating a celebrating a birthday today. That is pretty cool. Barry Adamson from Visage and Pete Shelley. I'm a homo sapien like you. Born in 58. Kevin Wilkinson, who worked with Howard Jones. Born in 58, also worked with Squeeze. Let's see. Donnie Van Zant, rock vocalist, guitarist, and of course, one of the founding members of 38 Special. There's Donnie, Johnny, and Ronnie. Donnie, Johnny, and Ronnie. Right. Donnie was with 38 Special. Johnny Van Zant died in the plane crash, the original singer, right? And then now the brother is the replacement. I think that's how it goes. Did I get it confused? Anyway, Frank Beard. Frank Beard was in ZZ Top. Okay? He was the drummer. His name was Frank Beard, but he had no beard. The other 2 guys, Dusty Hill, rest in peace. We just lost him a couple years ago. And Billy Gibbons, they should have been known as the Beard Brothers. It should have been Dusty Beard and Billy Beard. But it ended up being Frank Beard with no beard. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Frankie. Glenn Leonard, born in 47 from the Temptations. Richard Palmer James from King Crimson, born in 47. Let's see. Judy Craig from the girl group The Chiffons, for any of you classic folks out there. That is musicians. Let's go with some other famous folk born on today. Remember, if I don't say the age, that means they are no longer with us. They have passed away, because this list usually goes deep into history. Okay? Representative Jeanette Rankin, born in 1880, celebrating birthday today. Vince Lombardi, Hall of Famer, born on this date in 1913. Actor Gene Wilder. Willy Wonka, born in 33. International Motorsports Hall of Fame member Jackie Stewart, racing car champion, born in 39. He's 86 today. Adrienne Barbeau. She's 80 today. They're 80 today. Okay? And how she ended up with brain, I'll never know. Brain Barbeau. Brain Barbeau. Graham Russell, Air Supply, born in 50. He's 75 today. Joe Montana, born in 56. He's 69 today. Actor Hugh Laurie, born in 59. He's 66. That show was a trip, dude. Let's see who else. Peter Dinklage, actor, born in 69. He's 56. Actor Joshua Jackson, excellent actor, man. He can act, dude. Born in 78, he is 47 today. Shia LaBeouf, a man that is a few sandwiches short of a picnic. He's 86. He's 39 today. Let's see who else. And that is it. Sean Stanley, the responsibilities lie on you to give us wrestlers born on this date.
Hikaru Shida turns 37. Mike Enos is 62. And Masquerita Sagrada is 60. Those are your birthdays for June 11th, 2025. And just to let you know, the news has come out that Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys has passed away.
Ooh.
At 82.
He was dealing with some dementia.
Yeah,
I
82,
believe.
82 years old.
I believe he was dealing with dementia too and all that. It's just you're almost better off, man. Rest in peace. It's just not a way to go. You know. If we can die old and just, pass away and live a normal life, it's great. But when you got to suffer and your family has to suffer with it, it's just so unfair, dude. Rest in peace, man. Legend. Absolute freaking legend. Pet Store. What is it? Pet Stories, I think it is, right? That album is just. Oh. Anyway, let's go with music history. What happened today on June 11th? We start off in 88, Nelson Mandela's 70th birthday. A tribute concert took place at Wembley Stadium in London. It saw performances of Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, the Eurythmics, Dire Straits, and many others. It was broadcasted live and had an estimated audience of 1 billion people. I'm sorry, 1 billion people. In 96, Metallica became one of the first bands to ever stream a show online when they broadcasted their gig from a small San Francisco club over the internet. In 2001, Paul McCartney married Heather Mills at a church in Ireland. Among the guests were Ringo Starr, David Gilmour, and Chrissie Hynde. They'd separate 5 years later. In 2011, Pink Floyd's 73 album, The Dark Side of the Moon, re-entered the Billboard 200 at number 47 and reached a milestone, 1,000 weeks on the charts. In 66, the year I was born, the Rolling Stones started a 2-week run on the singles charts with Paint It Black. By the way, Echo and the Bunnymen, they do a great remake of Paint It Black. Just saying. Nobody's the Stones, but I got to give Ian McCullough and Echo and the Bunnymen a little credit there. They do a nice version of Paint It Black. In 98, Stone Temple Pilots singer Scott Weiland skipped a scheduled court date in L.A. and checked himself into a drug treatment facility. The hearing was over a charge of possession of heroin. Yeah, I'm going to get that fixed. Not, unfortunately. In 2004, oh no, it's not even. No, we don't address that thing here. We just don't. Don't forget, help us get to Spain. Okay, there's the QR code. Well, I saw it late, but it was there before the music stuff. There we go. Come on, man. Make a donation, whatever donation you can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This season's not going to be great. It's a transition year. Hell, I'm hoping that Weaver is the coach by that game. That, you know what? Now that I think about it, that would be so cool to have Weaver the coach for that game. His first game.
Oklahoma drills. Oh, God, it's going to be so good.
Awesome.
So good.
Awesome.
God, yes.
Awesome.
There's going to be a new headline tomorrow, by the way, I think.
What's that?
I think Bradley Chubb ruffled some feathers.
Why? What happened? What did he say?
I listened to it a little bit. He was asked about the culture question.
Oh, God.
And he said it was meant to do it last year, but not everybody was all in.
That's what a man says that's been paid and has got more money coming so he doesn't get released at the end of this coming season. Just let's go to the tooth. Can we play the tooth now? That's not Bradley Chubb being Mr. Team or whatever. That's Bradley Chubb saying, hey, I'm here. I'm playing team. I want to keep going with my contract next year because he go. I think I said this past offseason, he's gone next offseason, right? That they'll move on with Phillips and Chop next year. They'll rid that contract next year. All that is a man that is playing the game. Playing the game. A good soldier. He's being paid. He was paid while he was out with a knee last year. He got paid. He is grateful. He's not going to act like an ungrateful SOB. He's acting like a grateful player that is just playing the game. Don't fall for the bait. Okay? Don't. So whatever they write tomorrow or whatever little, fan base site you go check or something and they want to stir it up or anything, all Chubb is doing is playing the game. Okay? We give you the tooth. We read through the bullshit right away. I don't need much time to just read through the bullshit. Okay? That's all. Don't fall for it. Pet Sounds is the album. It's so good. So good. So good. So good. Big O, did you ever find the Jimmy We Will Be? No, I haven't even looked for it yet. Yeah, I haven't looked for we're going to be special. I haven't even looked for it. I know I have it. I guarantee you I have it somewhere. You know what would help? Do me a favor. See if you can search. Jimmy Johnson says Dolphins will be special. And tell me the date when that happened. I believe it was 97, maybe. I'm going to guess that we're going to be special in 97, maybe. No more than, 97, I'm going to say, because I don't think it was 96. I'm going to say 97, not even 98. I'm going to say it was 97 that we're going to be special. And so if I know that, then maybe I can start looking at tapes from that year, because I have cassette tapes from recordings of shows during that time. And I'm sure either I played it during my show because we used to have drops all the time, or there's a promo or something running with it or something like that. Yeah. So, but I will eventually I'll get it one day. One day I'll get it and I'll figure it out, my brother, and I'll find it. But I know I have it. I can tell you for a fact I have it. I know for sure it's somewhere. And I should do it soon because those tapes, they degenerate, and I don't even know I don't know what stage they're at right now if they can be played. To be quite honest. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to retrieve some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, Frankie Fresco, Lucha Libre AAA. First of all, Frankie, thank you for the generosity. Thank you for the super chat, first and foremost. Okay? Very kind of you. Folks, don't forget to hit the hell out of the like button. Okay? We've had several people come in and out of the damn show, and only 50 likes. Come on, man. Let's get this shit over 100. Easy. All right. Lucha Libre AAA. Who you got? El Fiscal teaming up with Mr. Iguana and Niño Hamburguesa versus Kento teaming up with Takuma and Nobu-san. You're challenging me here. Okay, so I don't know how. Listen, Republicans and Democrats try to be fiscally responsible, and they fail every 4 years, right? We've had 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats in office as our last 4 presidents. They printed 30 out of 37 trillion. I don't know an iguana that can be fiscally responsible, right? So I can't go anything with an iguana teaming up with something called El Fiscal. And I love hamburgers. So I got to go with a Niño Hamburguesa, okay, versus Kento teaming up with Takuma. So I'm going to go with the Hamburguesa carrying the Fiscal and the iguana. And then, Kento, Takuma, and Nobu, that sounds like sushi. They're going to roll over. So I'm going to go with Niño Hamburguesa to carry it all. What do you got?
No, I love your breakdowns, but Mr. Iguana is huge right now.
Yeah, but
this guy wrestles.
He's teaming up with Hamburguesa.
Yeah, but he wrestles with an iguana on his hand.
Right, but the Hamburguesa is going to keep him going because it's the meat.
No, the iguana is going to eat the Hamburguesa.
And get more powerful. I see.
Yes.
I see. All right, well, he's got his pick.
You do better at this because I'm terrible at doing picks because I start my own whole show thinking of what could happen, and it usually goes opposite. So you're probably 100% correct.
I'm telling you. That. And Niño Hamburguesa is going to carry the whole thing. Okay? So that's all I got to say. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation.
Would have thought on a show of truth we'd be debating iguanas and Hamburguesa.
It's all about the truth.
It is.
It's all about the truth. We got to break it down. Got to break it down. By the way, Welton Rheaume, right down the street here. If you guys need lawyers that you can trust, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rheaume, 954-966-4646, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Give them a ring, folks. Lots of our listeners in the last 5 years, and especially, unfortunately, I wish it wouldn't have been the case, actually, but several of our listeners on the West Coast, I love it that I actually listen to our show, called Jeff Walton, Daniel Rheaume. They sent over their adjusters. Dude, their adjusters were out there for like a week and getting it done and going after all the insurance companies and everything. It was pretty cool. And thank you all out there, those of you that listen to us on the West Coast. We got a strong following over there on the West Coast, man. We appreciate that very much. On the West Coast and Central Florida, we get a lot of people that listen to the show. So it's really awesome. And thank you for telling them that you heard it on our show. That's also very important. But Jeff Welton, Daniel Rheaume are awesome. And remember, the new laws passed, okay, don't favor you. They favor the insurance companies, which sucks. So the most important thing you'll ever do is hire the lawyers. And they have their own adjusters. So if you have any damage, you have water damage, you got a brown spot on your roof, after a torrential downpour or whatever, you may have a leak, call Welton Rheaume. They send their adjusters, and then they go after the insurance company. You know that you won't have to deal with the insurance company at all. Do you know wow. We have enough shit to deal with in life that we have to go chasing around the insurance company. No, dude, let the legal people that know all the loopholes and all the laws, let them go after them because they can't get away with anything against Jeff and Dan. Those dudes will crush their asses. So get the right people, man, and call Welton Rheaume. 954-966-4646. Who is worse right now, Miami Dolphins or the U.S. men's national team? I'm gonna go. They both suck. mean, I guess they were half decent in the 90s with that team. I'm talking about the U.S. soccer team, whereas the Dolphins have been a joke for 40 years. So, yeah, no, maybe U.S. men's national team by a hair. But, I mean, comparing those two is, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Yeah, trying to take a bite out of the apple. Exactly. Oh, God. I got Nino Hamburguesa as well, says Lenny Pena. He knows. He knows the power of the hamburguesa. I mean, I'd gladly pay you on Tuesday for a hamburguesa today. Isn't that what Wimpy used to say all the time? Sometimes you say shit on this show, you end up dating the hell out of yourself. Just weird, man. It's weird. Sucks. But you gotta finding newer references aren't an easy thing. By the way, on the Brian Wilson front, let me read the story for you. Unfortunately, on the passing of the amazing Beach Boy and visionary and legend, he passed away at the age of 82. His family shared the news on Instagram, writing, "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, has passed away. We're at a loss of words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world." In February of 24, shortly after the death of his wife and manager Melinda, it was announced that Wilson was suffering from dementia and that the family members had applied for a conservatorship for his safety. Born in June of 20th of 1942 in Los Angeles, Wilson began displaying signs of innate musical intelligence from an early age and began teaching himself piano at 12. He studied music through high school and, although talented, earned unimpressive grades. In 60, he enrolled at the local El Camino Junior College to study both music and psychology, but withdrew in frustration after a year and a half. It was around that time that Wilson started crafting songs, absorbing the sound of the era. "I first got the inspiration from artists on the radio Chuck Berry, Rosemary Clooney, the Four Freshmen," he recalled to Harvest Business Review in 2016. "That's how I learned to sing and play and write music." Along with his two young brothers, Dennis and Carl, plus their cousins Mike Love and classmate Al Jardine, Wilson formed a band that was initially called the Pendletons. A song penned by Wilson and Love called "Surfin' did well in Los Angeles. At the behest of their label at time, Candix Records, they changed their name to the Beach Boys. And that was just the beginning. In 1962, the band was signed to Capitol Records, releasing their debut album, Surfing Safari. During that same year, the successful album arrived after that, and Wilson not only writing songs with his bandmates, but also effectively producing their albums. "They believed in me, my process, and that what I was trying to achieve," Wilson said in 2016. "They didn't know how to produce a record, so I took charge. I was a perfectionist, and the guys respected that, but we always mixed in some humor and lighten the load." Okay. I guess it needs to be refreshed here or something. Because I kind of lost it here. I'm just kind of pulling all this up cold and reading it to you. I don't know if I should read any more. Anyway, I'm just going to read one more part. Here it goes. What would later be deemed Wilson's masterpiece was released in 1966. Pet Sounds. Remember, I just told you that album is amazing? That's the year I was born, bro, which is awesome. In retrospect, Wilson would describe his purpose in making the album. "I wanted to get the vocal harmonies I love on tape." And he told the Sarasota Herald Tribune this in 2016. But in doing so, he ended up creating one of the most acclaimed LPs of all time, progressively combining the elements of pop music with studio innovation and a precise sense of arrangement that astounded both average listeners and plenty of fellow songwriters. It was Pet Sounds that blew me out of the water, Paul McCartney said in 97. I've just bought my kids each a copy for their education in life. I figured no one educated musically till you've heard that album. And by the way, I agree. Pet Sounds is just one of the great albums of all time. And Mr. Wilson was one of the greatest musicians, musical minds, just everything. Everything. By the way, David Byrne is on sale and he's coming to town. I want to warn you, when you go see David Byrne or you go see Peter Gabriel, they're both phenomenal. They're both great talents. But if I'm you, if you're expecting certain songs, be careful with, I just saw it right now because it came across on my thing that David Byrne tickets are on sale. And what you need to do, unless it's the first show and you don't know what they're going to play, but if your city is in line, 2, 4, 10, 15 shows down the line, go to setlist.fm and go see what songs they're playing on the set list. I tell you this because David Byrne is the kind of guy that you'll go see an entire concert and he might play 1 or 2 songs that are popular. And if you're waiting to hear a bunch of Talking Heads or, Nothing But Flowers or something from his solo stuff, and all of a sudden he doesn't play anything from his solo stuff, or he plays a lot of eclectic Talking Head stuff and doesn't play, Burning Down the House or something, and you were dying to hear that, and you're going to be disappointed when you walk out. Before you get disappointed, before you buy the tickets, I just warn you, David Byrne is a lot like Peter Gabriel. Find out first what's on the set list so you don't get disappointed at the show after spending your money and all of that. Just a little tip from a guy that's been to a lot of concerts and specifically knows the DNA of some of these people and how they tour and what they do. Okay? I'm just trying to save you some grief, I tried to do that for Hockman one day. He was going to go see Bon Jovi. I told him, be careful. He can't sing anymore, and he doesn't play his hits. And sure enough, when he the next day, I was at QAM Stud Day. The next day, I heard him on there. Damn, but Bon Jovi didn't jam a lot of his old stuff. That's what I told you, bro. That's what I told you, bro. It's like, and then you come out disappointed, and it's like, and by the way, that's another guy that you go now, and the idiot wants to play a lot of his new stuff. Plus, he can't sing, which is the worst part about it. He lost his voice. And he doesn't even play his most popular music, which should be his entire concert. Should not play any of his new stuff because nobody cares about his new stuff. But 70% of his concert will be the last 5 albums, which nobody cares about. He goes, Wimpy from Popeye for your young listeners who have no idea. Yeah, I'm going to say stuff that's young, not so young, really old. I cross over all those generations, so it's all in here, So whatever comes out, what can I do? Sometimes it'll be something modern, and sometimes it'll be something from the past. It'll be your job to then, for you young people out there, to go do a little research. What's he talking about? Why was this funny? Why was this good? Let me go find out. That's it. You know who does that a lot? Anthony Campos. He's a young guy that when he hears something or whatever, then he goes, I could tell because he's done it before, where he goes back and, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And he goes, checks out something from the past. He is a what's that called? God, what's that word that I'm looking for? Always very interested, intrigued on what one why and this and what happened. What's that word? That's Anthony Kyle Campos that we see on the chat board. Yeah, skip on Bon Jovi. You walked out on. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Makes sense. I just don't go to his concerts anymore. After the last one that I went to, which was, I don't know, 10 years ago, 8 years ago or some shit, and I saw he didn't play as many of the old songs. And then I also noticed that his voice was, oh my God. And I said, yeah, no, it happens to everybody. Now, I mean, it happens to everybody at one point. You don't know when, because some people can go a little longer and, dude, their voices are strong still. You know what I'm saying? But there are some, I mean, Mick Jagger can still actually sing, Charlie Daniels, I saw him at 81 and he still had a powerful voice. But then there are some guys and women, it's normal, dude. It's normal to start losing power in your voice and losing the depth and the registers that you can't go to anymore. I saw Triumph. Did you guys, I don't know if anybody caught it. Lisa gave me a heads up. I didn't know. I was at Metallica, and I love Triumph, the Canadian band. Rick Emmett and Gil got back together to perform a couple of songs before the Edmonton game, number 2, that the Panthers won. And they Lay It on the Line, which is a great song from Triumph. Sportsnet, the Canadian channel, has been playing Lay It on the Line. So now Triumph has gotten like a rebirth in Canada. So young people are finding out about one of the great Canadian bands in their country, in their history. Rush is obviously number 1, but Triumph is another one of those bands. For me, I freaking love Triumph, dude. Love Triumph. I've seen them in concert a couple times. So I didn't know that they performed and all that. So Lisa told me about it. And I went to go look for it, and I saw it and all that. And Rick cannot hold the notes that he used to. And the worst part about it is, so they're doing interviews, right? And give you a little bit of insight for those of you that don't know. There was infighting in the band for the name Triumph and the power of the band and all that. The drummer Gil had all rights to it. He controls it. So for years he doesn't care about touring. Right? And so the last time they were together was like 2018 or something for their documentary, for just a short thing. And then the last time they actually played a concert was in 2008. So these two have hated each other. So Lisa tells me about it, and I'm like, wow, they got together. I wonder, did they really mend fences? So I'm looking at the interview with them there. And then they're like, and then the girl that's interviewing him is a young person that doesn't really know the ins and outs of what's going on with Triumph, right? Oh, so is this going to inspire you guys to start doing new music? And so Gil plays it off again. I'm into the tooth. I read through the bullshit. Well, you just never know. You just, we're going to go with the flow and let things play the way it goes and this and that. And then they go, and then she goes, well, but you guys haven't, performed in a while. And then Rick goes, yeah, no, I've missed it a long time. We haven't been, really in decades. And he goes, and then Gil jumps in, goes, well, no, we did something, back in 2008 for the documentary. And Rick goes, yeah, if you say so. And so and it's just like, if you say so, but yeah, no, we haven't played in decades. And then Gil goes, yeah, it's been since 2008. So you can't really, he's trying to downplay decades, because technically it's not decades yet. We're a couple of years. It's like a decade and 3/4 right now. You know what I mean? So even Gil's like, yeah, it was 2008. So you could tell that they got together because they did it for Canada. They're Canadians. They don't want to be dicks. So they went out and they performed the song and all that. But when I saw them perform the song and I see Rick trying to sing it, he cannot go to the registers he used to go to. And if you watch Triumph and you listen to Triumph, live Triumph, you don't even have to go to the records or anything, which the records will show you his voice, but even go live so you can listen to Rick Emmett. Rick Emmett's voice is a golden voice, and he's an exceptional guitarist, but age has caught up to him. So now you haven't really toured since 2008. He loved to tour, and now you took that away from him, and he's bitter and pissed, and still bitter and pissed. By the way, speaking of bitter and pissed, that's what I'm seeing Saturday, Peter Hook, because Peter Hook is part of New Order. And Bernard Summers, the lead singer, one of the lead singers of New Order, the main lead singer, there were a couple other voices, Peter did some singing, other guys, but really it's all Bernard. And then, and so Bernard became very standoffish about touring. He didn't tour much. And when they toured, they didn't play a long set. I remember watching New Order at the James O. Knight Center, and I left pissed with my wife after the concert because they literally played for 55 minutes. And I still remember it to this day, pissed. So they were barely touring. Peter Hook wanted to tour. And they couldn't tour. So then they had a legal fight and all that, and Peter Hook wrote a lot of the music. So now he goes and plays the music of New Order, and he has his guitarist sings the Bernard Summers parts and actually sings it very well. I'm going to go see him Saturday. Do you know how many songs he does? 30, because he loves to perform. And so you hear him in the interview, he goes, man, we have such a great catalog, and I wanted to go out there and tour. And Bernard never wanted to tour, and all that. So this happens with bands. And so when I saw Triumph, Father Time had caught up to Rick Emmett, and it sucks. It sucks because those of us that love Triumph, we could have seen them years ago and enjoyed them over and over again. And it was like the last 30 years, last 20, 25, 27 years, you barely saw Triumph on the road. Disgusting. Really disgusting. So, Triumph's new name, wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Basically. But if you saw the interviews, dude, you can tell the tension between Rick and Gil are still there, dude. Still there. Dustin says, go everything South Florida, be territorial like the shark in Jaws. There you go. There you go. What up, Big O? West Coast listener checking in from Hayward, California. John Padilla, thank you, sir. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big O, what makes a great coach? What makes a great coach the players? I don't know what he's saying. Or what makes a great coach or the players? Let me explain something to you. Greatness is shown for coaching in different ways. Okay, let me explain. When you're Eric Spoelstra and you're given dog shit, and you go, wow, man, I got a bunch of fucking guys that have barely, they barely ever had real success in this league or whatever, and I got to mash them together, and they're bad, and they've been fringe players wherever they go and all that, and then all of a sudden in the second half of a season you make them go 31-10. That's great. You know what's also great? When you have a group of great players and you maximize them. Did Del Harris maximize the same group of players that Phil Jackson did the next year? Same players? No. So Phil Jackson did something great because he grabbed all those egos and he was able to mold it into a champion. Del Harris failed. Don Shula. Oh, shit. We've got the strike. We've got scab players. The records are going to count. You go 4-1, I believe, with players you've never seen, met, scouted, known, whatever. That's greatness. And you get to a Super Bowl that year with 2 quarterbacks. Neither one's supposed to start. That's greatness. So you can screw up a great situation. That means you're not a great coach. Or you can make a bad situation better. That makes you a great coach. It's kind of the way it goes. Spo can only do with what he has. He hasn't had anything that's championship for years, since the Big Three. But yet he made it to a championship twice. Overachieved. Greatness. When you gave him great players, he won championships. What a shocker. Because he's great. He's great with shit. He's great with decent players, and he's great with great players. He's great. That's all. The coach will prove to you his value on a consistent basis, no matter who he's coaching, but you must understand what he's coaching. Don't blame him for some of the results when you don't have the players for the end result that you may want. Because that's not realistic. So I don't know if I answered your question, but I think I kind of explained what a great coach is and how they handle things, good or bad, or great. Because a lot of people have been handed a great team and then they screw. Mike McDaniel wasn't handed a great team, but he was handled some pretty damn good talent the last 2 years and could not maximize it. Could not maximize it. Because he's not a great coach. Nothing about McDaniel says great coach. Doesn't even say good coach. That's the crazy shit that goes on, dude. By the way, tomorrow we're going to be at Hialeah Park. And we've got the NBA Finals continuing today. You want to give them $100? Okay. All you got to do is use this QR code that's right there. Or if you're listening on the podcast, you can go to the YouTube page, use the QR code because we get a little credit there. But if not, that's fine. Go to the Hialeah website and open your account. Now, if you already have a Hard Rock account, just use a different email or a cell number and open that account. And if you make a bet, you'll get $100. How about that? Your $100 no regret first bet. You got the hockey playoffs going on, the Stanley Cup. You can bet on who can score a goal, win a game, whatever. You got the NBA playoffs going on tonight, over and unders, whatever. Props, you got it all there, dude. You want to bet on the Dolphins season, you want to bet on the Super Bowl, who's going to get there, whatever the odds. It's all there for you, man. So check it out. Have some fun. You can bet on those soccer matches that are coming up. What is it called? The FIFA World Cup play. Okay. World Club Cup play, whatever. Yes. Okay, they've got that there also. So check it out on the Hialeah website or use that QR code and get your $100. Good luck to you. I'm not a gambling expert. I'm not a financial expert. Dustin says, I got into New Order when Substance came out, but I view Movement as their best album. It's connected to Joy Division, and it's the aftermath. It's interesting. There's so many. They have so many great albums. So many great albums. They're so good. New Order is absolutely phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Don't forget, folks, you can support us at any time. You're watching, listening, Cash App or Venmo, Add Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum and Chainlink and Solana donation. Send in your questions, your comments, your insults. We thank Herbie Lopez out here as always, making it nice and easy for us to broadcast. We'll be out here like always, man, the second Wednesday of next month in July. Looking forward to it. Don't forget, help us get to Spain, please. If you can make a donation, any kind of donation you can make, use that QR code there. We'd appreciate it immensely. We want to broadcast all week out there, do our pre and post, and break any Dolphin news and provide the truth, the tooth, which is what we do. We thank this man right here, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, the Sean Allen. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock, same time, same place, same bat channel.